Hey guys, quick car share. I want to talk to you about 3 ways to lower cortisol. Cortisol is a very important hormone and it's the stress hormone. It's released by our adrenals, which are 2 glands that are on top of our kidneys, and we release it when we are in flight or fight mode and when we need to wake up in the morning. But unfortunately, we are really out of balance, so this hormone can be in, out, and about when we don't need it. And that impacts the 2 main hormones for us women, which are progesterone and estrogen. Now, when it comes to progesterone, the reason why cortisol affects it is because although cortisol will rise glucose, and progesterone does love that, it also disables us from chilling, from relaxing, from taking it easy, from giving the lifestyle that progesterone likes, which is really calm. And so this is really not good. So although yes, the glucose is higher and progesterone is happy for that, is not happy because we can't actually relax. When it comes to estrogen, the opposite is true, because glucose goes up. We know estrogen doesn't like to have high glucose in the blood, so it won't function very well. And everything that is extra in the body, we know that goes into fat cells. So higher glucose in the cells all the time, in the blood all the time, we're gonna start gaining weight, especially around our belly. And that's like a combination of estrogen and the glucose. Also, it's like estradiol, which is the most powerful type of estrogen, is the one that really is like, please keep this glucose down, which is why we can actually boost it by fasting. So we have to be mindful of those things so that we can make better choices. Now, cortisol is super important. It's not just when we're running away from a tiger or when we're stressed. It is actually to wake us up in the morning. And just like the moon and the sun, it has a beautiful dance with melatonin. So in the morning, melatonin goes down and cortisol will come up. And so we want these 2 to just be in balance so that we can not be sleepy and we can get up properly. At night, cortisol is meant to go down so that melatonin can come up. And if you have sleep problems, oftentimes it's because these 2 are not dancing the right way. So how do we manage this? All right. In the morning, first thing you do when you wake up, please take a moment for yourself. Allow the time for melatonin to go really, really down so that cortisol can get you up properly. You don't want to just bounce out of bed with that beautiful alarm. So once you do that, you can do it with meditation, which can be 5 minutes, breath work, journaling, like something really soothing for you. As you get up, just take a bit of time to look after yourself, have your little routine without looking at your phone, just breathing. You can listen to music, you can do anything that you like, but just don't look at emails and social media. Then once you are up and you are within that hour when glucose will be a little bit higher, you allow melatonin to go down, you are going to be able to have a beautiful workout. And that can be 15 minutes, honestly, 15 minutes moving your body and allowing your body to just release any glucose that is in your blood. So don't eat and don't do any of that within an hour. And I say this because a lot of us, what happens is we bounce out of bed, we're rushing around, more cortisol is released, then we have food, more glucose is in the blood, and we're just creating an absolute mess. And then we wonder why our hormones are all over the place, why we gain weight, why we don't feel well. And trust me, I've been there, so I know what I'm talking about from personal experience. And I love that because yes, books are fantastic, but we don't know a lot about women's hormones, and you have to really create awareness around it by doing studies, which we have now a little, not as much as we want to, but it's coming. But also personal experience, you start noticing. This is why I want everybody to be empowered to notice these things. Then the next thing you can do is make sure your diet is really good, because again, our microbiome impacts our stress in a massive way. We make more we make this connection between the gut and the brain so important. We make more serotonin in our gut than in our brain. So imagine how important this connection is. So our gut bacteria is super important, not to get us stressed and flustered and not to have anxiety, so that glucose stay low because cortisol doesn't go high. Equally, we don't want to add more fuel to the flames by having a processed carbs rich diet, and then our glucose is like through the roof. We have just constant spikes, not just a normal I eat and I digest curve. It's just crazy amounts. So we have to be aware of that and really, really pay attention. The other thing is, so fruit and veggies, always fruit and veggies, whole grains by in the mean of quinoa, and I would say starches in the sense of potatoes, sweet potatoes, root veggies. And of course there is a time in the month when that's needed and when it's not. So when progesterone is wanting to come up, so just before your period, for example, that's when you want to have more starchy, or even when you're ovulating, you want to support a little bit more the progesterone with some starches. But the rest of the time, low starches. So lots of greens, lots of nice tofu, and really enjoy edamame, enjoy things that are really nice protein, and that just don't raise your blood so much, and you are going to avoid the starchy stuff as much. Then the other thing you can do is make sure again to look after your gut by having fermented food. So kefir, I have beautiful coconut kefir that is just amazing, and truly you don't have to have dairy. I'm not a fan of dairy. Again, I don't think that we should have dairy, but just if you think about where it comes from, it doesn't make sense for humans. But moreover, really, if we don't have to, and we can do kefir with coconut, almond, cashew, you name it, why not? You can even have water kefir, by the way. Now don't buy it, because the ones that you buy, unfortunately, they keep on putting bloody agave nectar, and I just don't understand why would you put that high fructose stuff in it. So to me it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense to make your own. And you could add like some dates, or even maple syrup is much better, but just a touch, just for the fermentation to happen. But really, agave, I just don't understand. Then you want to make sure that you have a ritual at night. So candlelight if you can, so that you bring down the cortisol and you boost the melatonin. So no LED lights and no computers and no blue lights. Just try to really calm down your system. Try to have a routine, maybe yin yoga, maybe just anything that is self-care. And that honestly is every day, not just when we want progesterone to go up. It's just about balancing out that cortisol. So this is the very easy 3 tips. Not an exclusive list, of course, but I really feel like sometimes we need, little sound bites of what we actually need to do, so that we don't get overwhelmed. And those are very easy things. So guys, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.